Ron McCoy here, a real person, embodying the fictional character Rob McCool. All of the other characters are fictional as well, and Rob McCool has received a message from his sister, something pertaining to his mom, so he calls his sister. Okay, Suzanne, what's up? Well, she's had another stroke. She's at the emergency room. I'm there too. Okay, I'll be there right away. Before he knows it, Rob is heading toward the emergency room entrance, his heart racing. Inside, he sees his sister standing at the entrance to the emergency room area, about ready to head back to see what the situation truly is. Upon our arrival in our mom's cubicle back in the emergency room area, our mom is lying placidly on a gurney. Momentarily, a doctor comes in and tells Rob and his sister what the situation is. Your mom has had another hemorrhagic stroke, this time on the right side of her brain. This is going to be fatal. She has maybe 24 hours left to live. Another hemorrhagic stroke, one that is going to claim her life in 24 hours approximately. Whoa, this is so much like what happened 1 year, 9 months ago, and that takes Rob all the way back to that first experience with his mom's hemorrhagic stroke. But first, we're going to take Rob back earlier in this day when he was meeting with his superintendent. So Rob has an audience with the superintendent of Freedom Public Schools and decides to tell the superintendent exactly how he feels about how he was treated by his former principal and the director of human resources. So when Judy Hickenlooper, my former principal, and Lisa Codface met with me in that meeting, I was willing to accept responsibility for mistakes that I had made. The problem I had was they made the meeting personal. They attacked me over having kids sitting up straight in class, restroom break policies, that kind of thing. Rob, I regret that that happened to you. I regret that it happened in that way. Also, while I was at the Fall Festival, I ran into a teacher, and she teaches in one of the buildings in Freedom Public Schools, and she talked about how every staff member, every teacher is feeling such stress and is being nitpicked over every single mistake that they are making. Why are these practices happening in Freedom Public Schools? Yes, we have been getting reports that teachers are feeling stress, and this has increased a lot, especially since COVID occurred. Yes, teachers have been feeling lots of stress. The stress started long before COVID. COVID might have accelerated it. Nevertheless, I feel like it is undue stress. It is not necessary. Nevertheless, thank you for this opportunity to meet with you one last time. I am looking forward to the future. I feel like the best is yet to come. Outside that dreadful building, I'm thinking, not my problem. I can make my life anything I want it to be. Yes, the world is my oyster. In the present day, Rob's mom has suffered a hemorrhagic stroke. 1 year, 9 months ago, Rob's mom suffered a hemorrhagic stroke. He's in her cubicle in the emergency room. There's not one but 2 doctors in attendance. The first doctor says this: your mom has suffered a devastating stroke. This is the kind of stroke that usually proves to be fatal. Rob watches in shock the flurry of activity. A little while later, another doctor explains to Rob his mom's prognosis. The stroke has produced intracranial bleeding. That's why your mom had the headache, and that bleeding has caused immense damage. Now, there is surgery that can be done. Half of your mom's skull would be removed to relieve the pressure of the blood, but the damage is already done. There's only a 20% chance for success that she will live through this operation. The doctor then explained to Rob what his mom's life would be like if she survives the stroke. So, Mr. McCool, as you can see on the MRI, there is much damage done to the left side of your mom's brain. This is the side of the brain that controls language, verbal language, written language. Your mom will struggle understanding spoken language. She won't be able to read or write. Sometimes she will be comprehensible, sometimes not. She will not have a great quality of life. While still in the ER, Rob found a remote corner, a closed-off portion of the ER, found a recliner, sat down, attempted to contact his sisters to tell them, but they didn't respond. Rob spent an agonizing night in his mom's hospital room, all night long. Attendants, nurses, and so forth coming in constantly to check on her, and all of them had such grim looks on their faces. Prior to this most recent hemorrhagic stroke, and for the last year and 9 months, Rob's mom had led a varied existence. At first, things did look grim, but over the course of time, Rob's mom did progress. She never returned to her former self, but she did have moments where she did have quality of life. Yes, varied existence is a great way to put what Rob's mom and her family have experienced over the course of the last 1 year, 9 months. And to learn more about the details of those varied experiences, be sure to tune in the next edition of Rob McCool's Guide to Freedom. And Rob McCool will give more details about his life at Freedom Maples Elementary School, particularly during the time when he was also struggling with his mom's debilitating stroke and her recovery afterward. Yes, for the details, be sure you are with Rob McCool as his misadventures continue.